Kids failing are your failures. When crazy calls, the abuse you deserve. Crazy sex talk, bitterness, resentment, and contempt, emotional rape. You've got to realize that you have the power to really get connected with them.
And get the toilet paper.
Kids failing are your failures. Welcome to the Morrow Marriage podcast, guys. And today I want to talk about some stuff that's come up a few times on coaching calls this week. And the very first thing I want to say is this. If you are promoting your kids to be able to achieve anything that they want in their life, okay? If you are telling them that they can have the relationship they want, the success in a career that they want, they can build the business that they want, i.e. fulfill their dreams, even a professional athlete or a freaking rock star.
Astronaut.
There you go. If you are not following through and accountable to the most important relationship in your life, your relationship with your spouse, your relationship with your kids, then you are a fucking hypocrite. And we've talked about being a hypocrite recently. This is so important. I had two guys, honey, this week, and both had different ideas about their story and what they wanted to do. And interestingly, it was actually a week apart. And the first man was able to help address the second man, which was really cool. Learning fast, guys. I like this a lot. So the first story is this. The man has a daughter who's 20. His daughter is living with a family friend who's got a very negative relationship. And he went in there to try to fix everything, started to get in touch with this negative dude that's
his daughter's boyfriend.
Nope. So she's living with a family friend. Let's just say a woman who's his age. Okay. Who's got a boyfriend who's pretty negative, pretty upset, wants to move in, upset about the young woman living there, my client's daughter. Okay. And he goes in and tries to A, deal with the man, B, talk to his daughter, and C, wanted to know at this point of the stage of the game if he should go talk to his family friend, and his wife was getting pretty upset. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that you have to understand is this. You have to allow your children at any age of their growth the opportunity to actually grow. Most men go in and try to fix things. Okay. And this is so powerful to understand. Most of the time, you don't need to fix anything. The daughter was complaining, and check out how cool this is. This is actually a lot of his leadership as well, I believe. But his daughter went back and said, Dad, I don't need you to have this conversation with him. I'm really upset. And here's why. She is mature enough to know she has 2 months left to live there in this house. And then she's got a brand new place lined up. She's taking care of it herself. So literally he's going there and fixing something she's already handled.
Causing conflict where conflict doesn't need to be.
That is my point. And so you train your children, you train your spouse, you even train yourself when you have this fix it problem. You train everyone around you involved in your life to never want to move themselves forward. They have to defend themselves. They have to attack you back. They have to cause problems, and you don't need to. Okay. I can't stress this enough. The other example now, fast forward a week later, it's a couple days ago, and the man is wondering why his daughter, who's in high school, is trying out
different daughter now.
Different daughter, different man. Okay. And I'll call him Rick. Okay. So Rick has a daughter in high school, and she's trying out for the high school volleyball team and has no idea if she wants to actually join the team if she's accepted. Okay. Now he had all kinds of questions. Well, wait a minute. Why would you bother trying out? Why, if you're going to try out, you have to join the team. If you get accepted, that's something you should do. And he had this whole thing. And what this boiled down to for this man was that, Rick, you're actually trying to lead her, but what you're doing is you're trying to control her.
That's not leadership.
That's not leadership, And so I explained leadership. I explained asking questions, just stopping at tryouts. So what's interesting about tryouts? Like, what are you thinking about? Letting her explore and navigate what it is that she wants, because we actually didn't get a clear view. And in both cases, these husbands, the wives, were like, what in the world are you doing? And that's because as men, we continually try to fix everything.
You need to be the most efficient possible.
That's right. And if you want to just chill and realize your role as a parent, and I'm going to say as a spouse, even male or female, your role is to allow them to figure it out on their own. This comes down to first order change and second order change. If you're trying to, even if you don't know it, and try to control everything, manipulate the situation, get your point of view, get them to do what you want, all of these things are first order change. If they don't naturally come to the conclusion that they want to do something on their own, maybe she would want to be on the volleyball team, but if she feels forced because daddy said I have to, because that was the whole premise of the conversation. If I try out, it's not second order change, right? Second order change. Have I got it backwards?
Yeah,
I got it backwards. I apologize.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got you, babe.
Thank you.
Second order change is when you do it because of someone else's influence. First order change is when you do it because it's more intrinsic.
I really, for some reason, if I have this flipped backwards, it's not clicking for me today. I feel like we've
first order change is when you do it yourself, right?
Yeah, like so you go first order change, you go to the gym, right?
Because you want to.
Because you want to. Second order change, no, it's the other way around. I'm positive. I haven't taught on this for so long. I wonder if I really screwed it up here today, guys. Regardless,
she says I don't have to Google it because I already know.
My wife. Let's just go with that. Kathryn's right. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, guys. I have to clear up a complete screw up. I did say something wrong on the podcast in the episode where I mentioned, and I feel like it was resentment, bitterness, and contempt, where I mentioned 1969 was when women could vote. I don't even know how I said that. What I meant was 1969 was when women were legally allowed to have a divorce. So what you got here, guys, is I'm just trying to say, sometimes I mix up the details, the facts or whatever. Overall, I got it. It's because there's so much information in his head and I'm trying to move you so freaking fast. Apologies. Okay. Now, did you figure out first order, second order?
Well, I can read it to you, but it's not going to make sense to you.
Okay.
So I'm going to wait.
You know what?
Keep looking while you're.
I'm going to do a whole episode on that because it's really important to understand. The important part about first order and second order change is that you need to understand if your partner does it because they feel forced, right? If somebody buys their wife a gym membership and says, "Here you," and this is happening.
Here, this is a good example.
Okay, go.
So whenever you started teaching it, I also had a different idea of what it was.
Okay.
So I've always been confused about the way you teach it. But first order change is behavioral, the impact on the individual. So the oldest child goes off to college. That's a first order change. The second order change is impact on the system. So now there's a shift in roles, meaning now the middle child is now in the role of responsibility. So it's a second order change. That middle child didn't cause that shift. The first one did.
You use the example then. So first order change is you want to go to the gym. Second order change is you buy your wife a gym membership and she feels like she has to go because you spent the money and you guilt her. Okay. If you want the step-by-step rather than listening to episode and try to put the pieces together, my book is Disrupting Divorce by Cass Morrow, The New Man Saving Struggling Sexless Toxic Marriages, and Kathryn's is Behind the White Picket Fence, Keeping Families Together by Kathryn Morrow. Guys, head to Amazon and go get your life. You're not going to follow through on that change. And that is the problem when you're trying to fix a situation with your child, with your spouse or whatever, because you're not letting them make the choice for themselves. This is why so many people feel smothered, why so many people feel like they need space, why people feel like they need to take control back and push you away, right? Because they don't like you fixing it, okay? So I'm going to leave it right there today. I want you to address it with this, though. 2 pieces of homework. With your children, no matter the age, how often are you trying to quote unquote lead, but you're actually lecturing, teaching, or fixing the problem? 2, think of the last 3 times that you had a disagreement with your spouse, and are you doing the same thing? If you want to move forward, like when we talk about letting go of the past, not having to deal with the issues, it was not because we swept things under the rug. It's because we decided that we both wanted something. And in one case or another, it wasn't always one of us or both of us in. It was one in, one out. And that's the problem with you guys right now. You've got to get your partner, your children, your colleagues at work, the strangers you meet at the grocery store. The example I use all the time in my coaching calls is during COVID, I didn't struggle with getting toilet paper, but I would have been able to be at the store and get the toilet paper. Not because I'd be physical, not because I'd be an asshole, even though you know I am, but I literally would have just talked to them, statted them, stat response, and I would have got the toilet paper because they would have wanted to give me the toilet paper.
Like you would have taken it out of someone's hands?
No.
Oh, how'd you get it?
I would stat respond them.
To who?
To the person who wants the toilet paper also.
So you guys are both reaching for the...
Yes.
Can you tell the whole story? Are you both reaching for the toilet paper?
Yes,
Why don't you just grab the toilet paper?
Okay, so you're both reaching for the toilet paper.
It's the last roll? Is it the last roll?
It's the last one on the shelf. This is the COVID problem, okay? This is a fake story, by the way.
I just need to understand the context.
Okay, so we're going to stat response. So you would go in there and go, but I need the toilet paper. I absolutely need the toilet paper.
Are they male or female? Give her the toilet paper, honey.
It's 2 men so that we can just live life.
2 men reaching for the toilet paper. Thank you.
If it was a woman, you can have the toilet paper. No, actually, I dare not, because I have a woman over here that matters the most, actually. See, this is good. Now we're logically getting through this here. Okay, so you take your stat response. I want them to want to give me the toilet paper. Okay, so I'm not going to go on and talk about my kids and how, they're going to have to use leaves in their underwear, and we don't have enough underwear. We just lost everything with the gym, so we don't have any money. This is the last dollar we have, and that's guilting them. That is creating a second order change if they give it to me. No, just go in there and be awesome. Why do you need the toilet paper? Get to know them. How much toilet paper do you have left? Right? If you actually right there, just by being curious, they might go, well, how much toilet paper do you have left? And you then have the opportunity, instead of being defensive, to actually answer their question, because now they care. And boom, they're like, oh, wow. Okay, we have a lot more toilet paper than you. Maybe you start making a negotiation on, you got the peas. Okay, I'll take I don't know why I said peas, but and now you guys are swapping things out. You can also start adding some fun. If you get them laughing and on your side while you care about them, see, the best person in the room stops and talks less than this guy right here and just listens. Okay, ask the right questions. Okay, that's why I have to teach what I teach, because I have the power.
Yeah,
to
I would have
talk.
just traded the frozen peas for the toilet paper at the beginning.
See, I didn't want frozen peas. She made an assumption. She's not using my tool here.
You said peas. You said they had peas.
But I'm thinking canned. It's COVID.
Oh, canned peas. Okay, I said frozen peas.
Yeah, because what if, the world's going to shit? What if the freezer craps out? Guys, I'm making all this shit up. This is the important of understanding. You want somebody to be on board with you, whether it's a stranger at the store or not. And if it's your wife, if it's your children, you've got to realize that you have the power to really get connected with them
and get the toilet paper. Everybody wants to be on board with us right now because we're hilarious and we're obviously good in emergencies. Frozen peas, toilet paper, we got it, guys. Just forget about all this description that we just gave, because it was confusing. Everybody has to watch this episode five times just to figure out first order versus second order change and how you should get the toilet paper without guilting them and talking too much. Oh my gosh, this was good and confusing episode.
Very fun. Okay. We're a little bit more clear in the coaching calls. Okay. See you next time.
Bye.